All right, welcome to Startup 101. This is going to be really exciting. So, just before we dive into anything, there are really two ways to look at this. Number one, you can use this process to start or to launch your own company. Okay. Number two, if you've already got an existing company, you can use this process to launch a new product or service, bring a new product or service to the market. Okay. The tone I'm going to take and the conversation I'm going to have with you today is really going to be focusing on launching a new company. But like I said, you can use this same process to launch new products or services to the market as well. So let's dive right into it because this is fun stuff. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see something. And I'm going to go high level first, and then I will dive into the details. So the first thing is there's a process that I'm going to go through with you. All right. This is the whole entire process. It essentially, what we want to do is 5 different things. Okay. I'm going to jump back and forth between screen shares. Okay. We want to do 5 things. Number one, we want to find a problem worth solving. Okay. Number two is we want to validate that problem. In other words, we want to make sure that problem has merit, that it's something that can actually, that we can build a solution on top of. Okay. Everything starts with a problem. That'll make more sense in a second. Number 3 is we want to pick or come up with a solution. Okay, a solution to solve the problem that we just identified. Number 4 is we want to validate the solution. All right. In other words, we want to make sure that that solution is something that your customers, your future audience, your future clients will willingly pay you for when you would give them whatever it is that you offer. And number 5 is get more sales. Okay, if you can do those 5 things, pick a problem, validate a problem, find a solution, validate the solution, and get more sales, you've got the foundation of a great company. Okay, so what we go through today is going to show you how to do those 5 things. All right, let's dive into this. So number 1 is you might have an idea already that you want to start with your business, okay? And if you do, that's great. If you don't, this is going to be really impactful for you. So I don't have my Sharpie marker here, but what I can do is I'll use an Expo marker. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take, if you have stickies at home, get a pack of stickies. If you have an Expo marker or a Sharpie marker, get these 2 things. Okay, and before you start thinking about ideas for types of businesses that you want to create, I want you to focus on problems. Okay, and you're going to see why this is so important in a moment. All right, but let's do a couple together just so you have some clarity. Right, you probably won't be able to see this from that far, but one thing might be like eczema, okay? That's one problem, all right? Why eczema? I had it growing up. It's a skin problem, right? It's like where you have rashes on your arms, your necks. It depends on how bad it is, but it can go over your whole body, right? But I remember growing up, I was embarrassed to wear short sleeve shirts because I would have a red rash on my arm, right? I would always wear polos, like collared polos, because I wanted to be able to cover my neck because same thing, I was embarrassed, right? So on top of so I had embarrassment, I had, it was uncomfortable, right? Like I would itch if I were ever to like sweat because sweat is salty, it would burn. So like there was just there's so many different problems with eczema, right? So eczema is a problem. So I would take eczema and I would throw it on, so whatever problem you write, take a problem and put it on the wall, okay? Another one could be like back pain, right? Back pain and shoulder pain, back pain, shoulder pain. This is a big one. Everybody's working from home right now, right? So they're crouched over, they're on their laptops, they're sitting, their hip flexors are getting tight, etc. So problem, back pain. All right, put it on the wall, okay? And ultimately, notice how we are not talking about solutions at all. And this is really important. I do not want you to think about solutions at all for this first step. All I want you to do is focus on problems. Identify problems, okay? And if you can, ideally, identify 50. 50 is a lot. It's going to be tough. By the time you get to 20, your ideas are going to start to run out, okay? And go on Google, right? Go Google stuff, right? Whatever it is. Whatever you do, make sure the problems that you find are specific, okay? So for example, if you write like bad health, okay? Bad health, okay, what does that mean? Does it mean bad skin? Does it mean physically in pain? Does it mean bad teeth? What does that mean, right? So bad health is like not a good example, but be specific in the problem. Excuse me. To help guide you with this, there are 3 markets that no matter how the economy is doing, they're always an opportunity to sell within those 3 markets. Number 1, they're called the big 3. Number 1 is health. Number 2 is wealth. And number 3 is relationships. We just covered health, so I'm not going to go into that again. Wealth would be like how to make money online, how to work, how to make money from home, how to start an online business. That's all wealth, right? How to invest in the stock market. Those are all wealth. How to invest in real estate, another wealth example, okay? But those are just topics. Again, that's problems. Those are not problems. Let's focus on problems, right? So write 50 problems down. That's the whole point of this. And relationships would be like dating, by the way, just to give an example, fill that in. So don't focus on solutions yet. Just focus on problems. And I want you to write 50 problems on a sticky and throw it on the wall, okay? That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is you need to find the problem that you care about. So now imagine you've got 50 different stickies on the wall, okay? You got all these different problems to choose from, okay? I want you to narrow down to 1. If you cannot pick 1, pick 2 or 3 that you care most about. They're either problems that you have dealt with personally or problems that a friend or a family member have dealt with, but something that you care about, that you genuinely care about, something that you will have passion for, okay? And the reason why that's important is you will inevitably have challenges, setbacks, roadblocks. Things are not going to work, especially the first time around, okay? If all you're thinking about is the money, you're not gonna be able to get through those challenges. You're not gonna be able to get through those roadblocks, right? So another big reason why I like this process is because by focusing on the problems themselves, we are completely what's it called? What's the word? We're basically compartmentalized. Oh my God, I just said the word. I'm like completely mixing different words. We're taking the concept of thinking about money and we're putting to the side. All right, we're not thinking about it right now. All we're thinking about is problems. So now you're coming down. You pick 1 problem. All right, pick 1 or 2, maybe 3 problems that you want to focus on. The next thing we want to do is we want to validate the problem. This is huge. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen so you can get a little bit more details on this. So we talked about picking your top problem. We want to start validating the problem. There are 2 different ways to validate problems, okay? So if you're looking at all of these, right now I want you to look at the first 3 right over here, okay? Size and scope, audience, level of pain, okay? So the size and the scope is how many people are struggling with the problem that you picked. I'm holding eczema right now, so I'll go through an eczema example with you guys, okay? How many people are struggling with this problem, okay? This is as easy as going on Google and searching, right? How many people are struggling with the problem? I'm gonna do it with you so that you can see this, okay? Watch this. How many people have eczema? 15 million Americans. Okay, so we know the size of the problem is 15 million. So 15 million people, potential, these are people that have this problem. All right, potential. I was going to say potential customers, but again, I don't want you to think about the business side of things yet. I want you to just focus on the problem, because if this doesn't, what we're about to do, if this doesn't pan out, then you need to go back to the drawing board and find another problem that's worth solving. So that's number 1. 15 million people. Okay, audience. Who makes up this market? Okay. Are they older? Are they younger? Do they live in cities? Do they live in rural areas? Where do they live? Okay. And the last thing is level of pain. How painful is the problem? All right. And the pain level of pain is really important, okay? And the reason why level of pain is so important is because imagine, eczema is probably not a relatable example if you haven't had it, but imagine like a toothache, okay? Imagine you had a toothache and your toothache it's not that bad, it's okay. Like you wake up in the morning and it's a little sore, it hurts, but what do? You can still focus, you can still operate. So what do? You pop an Advil and you get on with your day, okay? An Advil costs what? I don't know, like 10 bucks, 15 bucks, maybe 20 bucks for like a packet of Advils. So that's low pain. High pain would be your tooth is throbbing. Okay, you cannot, like, you're like about to borderline scream. It's so bad. You can't work, all right? You can't go to work. You can't sleep. You can't focus. You can't eat. Okay, the level of pain is so much higher, right? So why is this important? Because with low pain, the solution to that problem is not that expensive, right? An Advil costs 10, 20, 30 bucks. I don't know how much it is, but you guys, it's not a lot, all right? Low pain, low profit. High pain, high profit. If you're the person who's got a throbbing toothache and you need surgery, and that's the only option, you're gonna get surgery just to stop the pain, right? How much does a surgery cost? $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, maybe $10,000, right? So the point is low pain, low profit, high pain, high profit. Within your group of people, right? So I'm gonna go again. I know I'm jumping back and forth, but the reason why I'm jumping back and forth between the different screens is because I don't want you to get tired. I'm trying to keep this as engaging as possible, okay? If you've got a big audience, right, that's great. Not all of them are going to have high pain. Not all of them are going to have low pain. There's going to be a spectrum, right? But you want to know that there are people with high pain and you're going to want to know there are people with low pain, right? Because you're going to be able to serve all of them. So you want a big audience. You want to know who that audience is. Ideally, the audience is as specific as possible, all right? I'll give you a great example. Not too long ago, I was working with a client who had a product for women with menopause, okay? That is an extremely specific audience, okay? The reason why that's important is because there's way too much noise. There's so much noise in the world right now. Everyone's running ads. Everybody's got this product, that product. There's so many products being thrown in your face, okay? If you can't hyper target who you're speaking to, there's no way you're gonna be able to stand out, okay? Especially in the beginning. You wanna make sure that your audience is as specific as possible, okay? And then the last thing is you wanna make sure that the pain is high, right? If the pain's not high, people will not act, okay? Not only will they not act, they will not pay that much to get that problem solved, okay? So that's the first thing, okay? Before you get into this, which is what I'm about to go into, make sure that there's potential with these three things. Make sure you have a market that's big enough for your appetite. Make sure that you know who that audience is, and make sure that the pain is high enough that it will trigger people to act. All right, that's the first three things you need to do when it comes to validating the problem that you've picked, okay? The second thing, or the second part of this, is to look at Google Trends, Google Ads, Facebook ads, okay? Before you start building something, before you create something, before you put all this time, energy, and effort into putting something out into the market, doesn't it make sense to see if that thing or if that problem is already being solved? And if it is there high demand? And if there's high demand, is it selling, right? Before you do all that work, doesn't it make sense to do that? It should. That's the easy answer, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. So there is an amazing tool called Google Trends. If you have not heard of Google Trends before, it's going to change your life, all right? Google Trends allows you to go and see what people are looking for on the internet, okay? I've never done this eczema one, but I'm going to go through with it just because it's an example, and you can figure out whatever it is that you're trying to do. So ultimately, I want to make this like a template for you to follow. Your problem. You want to be able to Google your problem, okay? To stop okay? So it's probably not the best one. Let's do, oh, this is a bad example. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, ultimately you want to look at like what, let me just do something else. All right, I'm staying live because I want you guys to watch me do this process, but I'm going to talk you through what's going through my mind, right? Ultimately, what I'm looking for is, we know there's a problem, right? You've got your problem. Start looking for, imagine you're in the position of somebody who had this problem, whatever problem it is that you have, and start to search what you think that person would search if they were on Google trying to find an answer, okay? So like eczema cream, right? If that's what, like what we're looking at right now is we're looking at how many people, like how much demand is there in this wow, that's pretty interesting actually. How much demand is there, or how many people are searching for this? So we know that over time, people have been increasingly more demanding of eczema cream, right? They've been wanting this more and more. That's a good sign. You want to see that growth, right? That means demand has been growing over time, okay? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, sometimes you'll see location, right? So here you have interest by subregion. Sometimes, like I remember doing something for teeth, right? It was all in the Southwest. Over here, it looks like it's pretty much everywhere. That's an interesting sign. So geographically, this problem, pretty much everyone has it everywhere. The reason why it's probably bigger in these states, it's probably colder here and there's more population, right? I'm in Jersey, so I know this climate. Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, those are a little different, but that's geographics, right? Then you've got what people are searching: best eczema cream, baby eczema, best cream for eczema, eczema treatment, eczema face cream, right? So there's a couple of things that stand out. Number one, baby, right? Now they get a little bit of an idea for who the audience is. Face cream, I have an idea for what people are struggling with. Skin cream, lotion, Aveeno is a specific product. Okay, so basically, just by going on Google Trends, I've determined, or I know, that this is something that a lot of people are searching for, okay? So what's the next step? The next step is, here, I'll go to this first. Number two is we want to see, so is there demand? Yes, there's demand. People are looking for this. Number two, is it selling? Okay, what I'm about to show you goes through advertising. Let me just do it and you will see why this is so important. Eczema, come on. Okay. All right, here we go. So we are looking for this. You see that ads, ad. Is there any more on the bottom maybe? Ad. Okay. What are we looking for? We are looking for, or we're looking to see if advertisers, or in other words, we're looking to see if businesses are spending money to get people to buy their product. Now, think about this for a second. Here, I'm going to go to this. This is a really important question I want you to understand. Think about this for a second. Would you spend money on an advertisement if it was not making you money back? Probably not, right? The only time it makes sense to spend money on advertising is if you are making the money back, right? So now what we're doing is we're going on Google and we're trying to find, okay, are people spending money on this? Because if they are, that means they're probably making money, right? And there's a couple of things that we want to look for. Number one, we want to look for how many people are doing this, all right? And what are they selling? So we got cream, right? So this is Gladskin. This is one cream. Look at the reviews, right? We'll go through this in a second, but look how they're selling it, right? So whatever problem that you are doing more research on right now, whatever problem you're validating, Look at the solutions that your competitors or future competitors are putting out there and see how they're selling it, right? If it's a cream, look how they're selling it, right? Look at what they're saying. See why people rave this stuff really works, okay? They're talking about ingredients. They're talking about the benefits, right? No fragrance, no alcohol, no steroids, no preservatives. They're talking about, there's dermatologist recommended, not tested on animals, hypoallergenic, clinically tested. You've got all these benefits, right? So look at how people are selling. This is just one example. Let's go to another example. This is another cream, okay? Notice how it's pretty similar to this. Product, name, description, buy it now. Product, name, description, buy it now, okay? The reason why that's so important is because now you know how to sell the product or service that you are trying to offer, right? I think there was an appointment thing somewhere down here. These are creams here. Let's do this. Eczema. Hey, look, here's another one, right? So diagnosis and scripts, right? So the first ones we looked at creams, but now you can also look at, actually, hold on, I want to do it this way. Open a new tab. You can look at services. So if people are selling services, if you either got products, you got services, or you've got information. These are services. So this is how people are selling services. Look at how they're selling it, right? So people are already doing this work for you. They've already proven, right? They're proving to you that they're making money because they're spending money on advertising. And they're showing you how they're making money. They're literally showing you, okay? So all you have to do is research these problems, look at the solutions that other people are doing, and now you've got ideas, okay? You've got ideas of what is already out there and how it's being sold, how it's being successful, okay? So that's important, right? What else do we have here? We've got the next thing we want to do is Facebook ads. Okay, this is selling on social. Why is this important? The reason why it's important is because if you are advertising on Google, it's significantly more expensive than it is to advertise on, say, Facebook or Instagram. Not to say that Google is not something that you should do. You should definitely do it, but it's just more proof, number one, that if it's selling on social, that it's working. And number two, it's a lot more inexpensive to sell on social. So if you have an early, smaller budget, this might be more friendly to you to do it. Not to say that if it's not on social, it doesn't mean anything or doesn't matter. But let's dive into this real quick. So we looked at here, Gladsky and Roman. Let's look at Roman. So the thing you can do is go to Facebook ad library. Okay. Go to this website. Okay. Search all ads. Roman. Get Roman. So this is the same company as this company, right? So you want to see if they're advertising this on social media. So they're advertising on social media. We got ED, hair loss. Let's try this. Skin. Oh, maybe they're not advertising on here. Oh my God. This is like kind of intimate, to say the least. Jeez. All right, let's see is there anything here that's skin related? All right, if I can't find anything, I'll just find something else. Damn, I guess there's nothing here. They've got 180 results and nothing on skin. That's pretty surprising. All right, well, I guess that they don't have it here. All right, so I guess their focus is on, okay, if they don't have it, that's fine, right? Let's go to this other product. We've got Gladskin. Let's look at Gladskin. That's EU. Let's look at US because I am in the United States. You probably are in the US too. Rashes. All right, eczema. Here we go. So look at that. Check this out. So not only are they advertising on Google, right, like this, but they're also advertising on Facebook, on social media. Hey, where'd that go? See ad details. Oh, here we go. So now they're also advertising on here. So why is this important? Now you get to see how they are advertising on social media. So they've got a video, say goodbye to dryness, rashes, steroids. So again, you want to just see what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they're saying, okay? And if you're going to be releasing it and it goes right to the same page that we did as if it was on Google, right? Literally exact same page, right? So what did we just do? We just looked at Google Trends. Is there demand? Yes. Is it selling? Yes. Is it selling on social? Yes. Okay. So those 6 things in total should give you a really good idea if the problem that you have is a problem worth solving, right? And why is it a problem worth solving? Because there's a big market for it. There's a specific audience for it. There's high pain for that problem. It's selling on, there's demand for it via Google Trends. There's, I don't have enough fingers. There's, it's selling on Google and it's selling on social media, all right? If you can get all of that, you know you have all of that data, how much more confident would you be knowing that this is something that you can pursue and find success in, right? So now by this point, up until this point, we've put up problems on the wall. We've found a problem that is important, or you found a problem that's important to you. And now you've hopefully validated that problem. Now we need to start coming up with a solution. So how do we come up with a solution? There's really 2 things to look at, okay? There's opportunities in the marketplace and there are voids in the marketplace, okay? So how do you find these 2 things? By now, you've already done some research and you know a little bit about what your competitors are doing. I'm gonna do one example for you, but I would do this for 5, 10 different competitors to get a really good idea for what's going on in the market. I mentioned reviews before. Go to the reviews, read these reviews. Is it working? Can I press on it? Can't read the reviews? Oh, here they are. All right. Here's what users say, right? Changed my life. Suffered blah, blah, blah. It was worse than an experience. I've had it since childhood. Notice childhood, right? Dependent on steroids. Stopped as an adult to resist. So like a review like this is telling you pretty much everything you need to know about this condition, right? What are the problems? What are the pains? Why is this solution so good, right? Oh my God, this is crazy. Look at this, right? Like, remember how I was telling you my personal story about like not wanting people to see the rashes? So that's like high pain. I was depressed and never went outside. That's a very serious problem, right? So read the good ones. That's crazy. Like, read the good ones and read the bad ones, right? The good ones will tell you, there's 2 things you're looking for. You're looking for the things that are good, right? The things that are doing, that the companies are doing really well, because that's what people like. And you're looking for in the negative reviews. Is there a way to sort negative? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sort negative that easily. So there's a lot of positive reviews for this product. The positive reviews will tell you the things that the company is doing well. The negative reviews will tell you the things that the company is not doing well, okay? The things that they're doing well are the opportunities. The things that they're not doing well are the voids. Within those reviews, like the one that we just went through, you're gonna see stories, okay? It'll help you better understand your future potential customer. Read those stories, understand those stories, be empathetic about those stories, because those are the stories that you need to understand in order to make the message for your product or service relevant to the people you want to serve, okay? So that is, that's how you start. So this is, right now you should start to think about the idea, right? What's your idea for a business? Are you gonna create a cream? Are you gonna create a service? Are you gonna create a product? Like, what are you gonna create? and use this research that we've been going through to find ideas, inspiration for the thing that you're going to create, okay? So that's, so we talked about solution, right? Validation. Really, validation is the last thing. And this is probably, this is where a lot of people make this mistake, okay? They've got this idea and they tell people, hey, listen, like I've got these, I've got this new eczema cream, okay? Would you want to buy this? And they ask their friends, they ask their family members, and their friends and their family members. So what do they say? Yeah, sure, I'd buy it, right? That's called verbal validation. That is the problem with verbal validation. It might give you a little bit of ideas, okay? But the problem with verbal validation is that people lie, okay? Not because they want to lie to you, but because they don't want to hurt your feelings, okay? They just want to comfort you. They just want to tell you what you want to hear, okay? So that's verbal validation. That's like, if there's two levels of validation, like a low level and a high level, verbal validation is the low level. The high level, the level that you should strive for, is purchase validation, okay? If somebody is willing or willingly gives you money in exchange for the product or service that you offer, that is the best form of validation. So how do you validate whether your idea has merit or not as quickly and as inexpensively as possible? You create what's called an MVP, or a minimum viable product, okay? A minimum viable product is, I'm going to tell you a story about what it is, and that'll help you understand it, but it's essentially the least amount that you can do to get the job done, okay? So there's a company, man, I'm blanking on the name right now. It's a tea company, but I'll tell you how the story of this tea company started. So there was a lady, a US lady, she grew up here her whole life, and she loved tea, or she drank tea. She wasn't really a coffee drinker, she liked tea. And she wanted to explore the world a little bit more, so she could understand culture, she could understand people. She wanted to see what it was like outside of the United States. So where did she go? She went to India, okay? India is known, very well known for spices, for teas, for a lot of more exotic flavors, really, more than anything else. But one of the things that they're really known for is tea. So this girl goes to India, and she has the tea there, and the tea is phenomenal. It's got these flavors that she's never experienced before. It tastes like a dessert sometimes. If you put milk in it, it has this whole other flavor. And basically, she has this wonderful experience of the tea. She's like, man, like nobody has this in the United States. Like, how come nobody? I've never seen this anywhere, right? So what does she do? She's like, man, I gotta be able to. So that's the problem, right? The problem is nobody in the United States has this, okay? And they're missing out so much, okay? So then the idea, the solution is, hey, let me see if people will want this. So what does she do? She takes some of those herbs that made the tea that she had. She brings them back to the United States, okay? Does she go and build out this whole like company with branding, logos, colors, etc.? No, she doesn't do any of that. What does she do? She has her bag of herbs. She buys a bunch of Ziploc bags, okay? She takes some of the herbs, she puts the herbs in the Ziploc bags, she goes to work, and she gives the Ziploc bags to her colleagues, and she says, hey, listen, she tells them the story, right? Hey, listen, I just got back from this trip from India. When I was there, I got introduced to this tea, and it is just amazing. It's like nothing I've ever had before, and it was so good that I wanted to bring it back over here and see if people over here would like it. So I put together this little packet of tea. It's just in a Ziploc bag, but to make it, do this, this, and that, and try it out. And I'd love to and if you want more, let me know. Like, I'd love to hear what you think. So she gives out these Ziploc bags of herbs to all of her colleagues, right? For free. The first round's on her. She noticed there's no branding. There's nothing fancy about this. We're talking about Ziploc bags, right? A Ziploc bag, a pack of 100 can't be more than $10, right? super inexpensive, easy to do, quick, no branding, no logo, no website, none of that stuff. Just, hey, look, I've got this thing, try it out. Let me know if you like it. What ended up happening? Her colleagues came back to her, said, hey, can I get some more of that? What did she say? Look, I don't have that much left, but if you want to buy it, like, hey, let me know. I can put together as many bags as you want. And that's how she started selling it, right? And then so that's an MVP. So what's the point of this? Create an MVP for yourself, whether it's a product or a service. Create the minimum that you need to create in order to get the job done, to pass the experience on that you want to be able to pass, okay? If people are not willing to pay for that willingly, right? If they're not willingly going to give you, to part with their hard-earned income for your product or service, you got to rethink what that MVP is. So go back to the drawing board, recreate it. But if somebody is willingly able to part with their hard-earned income for your product or service, that is an excellent sign. That is something that you should look at and say, wow, people are actually willing to pay for this. I'm onto something, okay? So you want to start getting sales that way. Use an MVP to get your sales, your initial sales, early, inexpensively, and quickly, okay? By doing that, you are proving, you're validating that your idea has merit, that people will give you money for the idea that you are providing them, okay? That's the Startup 101 process, right? That's how you start a company. That's how you find a problem worth solving, validate the problem, find a solution or come up with a solution, validate the solution, and the last step is get more sales, okay? Now you got to hustle. This is where the hustle comes in. You got to get sales. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but hopefully everything we talked about up until now has given you direction, guidance, confidence, and a clear-cut path that will help you either pick an idea and find an idea, build something that you want to build, or if you've already got an idea, make sure that that idea is something that has merit, okay? That was the point of this video. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this was transformative, right? I hope that this has opened your eyes, opened your mind to new perspectives that you had not seen before. So if you've got any questions, comment them below or send me an email, and I will make sure that I can respond to them and answer your questions effectively. And you can also bring these up in the live calls, right? If you've got questions about this process in the live calls, let me know, okay? But that's all I got for you today. Thanks for tuning in and get started.